We did say last week things would look a little bit different this time around, and good morning and welcome to the World Sports Betting Morning Show. It's the start of June. There's a whole lot going on. World Sports Betting have well and truly come to the party. They've given us some magnificent clothes, given us millions of different shirts, and we all decided to wear the same ones. And we got an added member to the panel, the regular Liam Delcalmer sitting in the gallery. He'll come and join us in the next few minutes, but we are going to welcome, first and foremost, Dom Zaki, a new member to our panel. He's going to be tipping Australian racing, the races that we'll be taking throughout the show. And Dom, very good morning. Nice to see you on the show. I hope you're ready to be abused by everyone else here.
No, there's no need for abuse, but I'm glad to be on the show, and yeah, we're looking forward to the Australian races coming up and the betting for the July, and see what we like going forward to the July.
Well, you've got some Lebanese blood in you, so I'm sure you like a little bit of confrontation.
Yeah, that's the name of the game with us.
Absolutely. Nice to have Dom here, and we'll get his opinions in just a moment. Gary, World Sports Betting, I mean, the specials that they've got, which we'll go through in just a few, are unreal, outrageous.
Both for existing and new customers. They really come to the party. They're up for the July special, and you know, hopefully they continue with it with the August special as well. But they have got some fantastic specials, including a trip to the Melbourne Cup.
Yes, we'll get through all that. That's been advertised a little bit on Teletrack over the last few days. Rod, Melbourne Cup. Great stuff, isn't it?
Brilliant. If you haven't been to a Melbourne Cup, you haven't lived. I promise you get an opportunity to go there. It'll be absolutely fantastic.
When did you go to the Melbourne Cup?
I haven't been to one myself personally. But
aren't you from Melbourne?
I am from Melbourne. But Terry, they always play cricket on Melbourne Cup Day when I was a youngster there. So couldn't go. But 100-odd thousand people get along. I think up to 120 sometimes, and all sorts of kit and whatever. But just talking about that, what are you going to say?
No, because you and I went down the Yarra, is it? The river?
No, that's the Yarra. It's
the what?
Yarra.
Yarra.
Yeah.
Is that past the... Did we go past the...
Where?
The racing. Did we go past there?
No.
No.
No, not even
Was it the
close.
wrong way?
You went upstream.
Yeah.
We went... He took us the most horrendous trip I've ever been in my life. He said, we'll go on this boat, and he took me down. Horrendous.
I made a mistake.
Cargo ships. If it had gone the other way, apparently it was beautiful. All the stadiums, the sports stadiums, aren't they?
Yeah.
All on the...
Lovely restaurants.
He takes me down amongst the cargo ships.
Oh, well.
Horrendous.
Those things
Brilliant. Investec Derby today.
Yeah. What
Have
about
you been-
yesterday? What about yesterday?
Brilliant.
The Oaks.
Enable.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant. The other one didn't stay, did he?
What?
Vincent
Rhododendron.
O'Brien's. Yeah, Rhododendron.
That was hot pot favourite, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
red hot favourite. But
Have you been to a derby?
Oh, of course I have. I've bet my life on one Derby horse a year before. My man, the jockey, Philip Waldron, said, come to Newbury today. I'm on my Derby horse.
Yep.
Okay, I backed it at 100 absolutely skated up. Went to the Derby, got beat half a length by Willie Carson, and who was the trainer. Anyhow, got beat half a length by a horse called Henbit. 50 to 1 I'd backed to that. And got done half, but it went on to be a great... Master Willie it was called, and that's... I thought about you then. And Master Willie, and went on to win the Coronation.
Yeah.
Won that by about 20 lengths. It was a good racehorse. The Judge won that at York, and I was on it every time. I had a great year that year.
I bet you don't have a tip for today's derby.
I do, actually.
Oh, okay. We'll find out that in just a moment. Let's have a look and see what we can look forward to. There's specials, and also we've got a lineup for you. But we'll start off with the specials. Dom's daily best bet. So Dom's got an Australian tip for the day, and if a selection does not run a place, we will refund your stake in free bets. That's World Sports Betting. So we'll find out what Dom likes. There are, I think, 2 races from Doomben that we'll take you through in just a moment. There's Donkey Luck as well. That's something that Terry's got lots of. Back any odds-on favourite and receive your stake back in free bets should your selection run second to another horse with a starting price of 25 to 1 or greater. So, for example, if you like, I don't know, what's an odds-on shot today? Ulsahem. Let's say Ulsahem goes and... starts off at 9 to 10, and you get beaten by
An outsider,
Captain Gambler. Captain Gambler.
Come on, yeah,
yes.
get on with it, matey.
Get your
You
stake
had a
back.
nightmare last week. Get on with
What?
it.
I've just explained it. It doesn't get any more simple than what I've done. You keep quiet.
Come on.
Durban July anti-post. Back any horse to win the 2017 Durban July and get your full stake back and free bets if your selection does not run. So, Gary, as far as anti-post is concerned, you can forget about the anti-post. That is the best deal I've ever seen.
That is an amazing
That's one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
So you get all these fancy prices. Your horse doesn't run with it. It
Did the
doesn't
run,
get
you get your
accepted or
dough
it gets
back.
scratched at any stage. Am I right? If it gets scratched going down to the start.
Surely the bookmaker's not a benevolent
that is
fund.
unbelievable.
Gee, hey,
And now they've got
good's that?
something else.
And an objection refund. If any horse you back to win is stripped of its victory by the outcome of an objection, we will refund your stake on the said horse up to 2,000.
It's called first past the post. That's
Yeah.
what that's
Well, they
called.
get you- yeah.
Regardless.
Oh, that would have helped out. Remember, we once had a horse that lost an objection.
We had a few, but
Living the dreams, right?
living the dreams. Correct, yeah.
I had a-
Gary was in partnership
Yes,
with you.
the 13th horse
Correct.
objected against us. Remember, and they took it away. I'm not joking.
I had a winner called Strife. The first two horses we finished third, first two in front were objected to, and we won the race. Can you believe that?
From third.
From third.
That wouldn't
James
happen
Goodman
now.
trained it. James Goodman trained it.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, James Goodman would have run in the first three.
All right, well, let's take you through a lineup and tell you what's coming up on this morning's show, other than laughs and a few other outrageous things. Durban, July and build up to Doomben, so we'll do that for the next 5 minutes or so. Doomben race 6. Must be a long race if it's going to take 10 minutes. 7:15 is when we'll cross over there. Then we'll get Liam in here to talk about football. He's going to talk about rugby mainly, but we'll talk about the football, the Champions League final, the cricket, the RCC Champions Trophy. Roland Garros is going on. Liam Delcom has come up with the most outrageous golf suggestion I've ever heard. And we'll talk about the NBA playoffs and UFC. Rod's done all the homework on the UFC. Doomben race 7 is going to be another long one. And then we'll take you through the Techie Town competition and the best bets. Of course, Techie Town are still on board. So it is the World Sports Betting Morning Show, and let's have a look at the Durban July betting, courtesy of our providers here. Dom the Bomb. What's going to win the Durban July? We're less than a month away. Can you believe it?
Well, Alistair, you know what? This July is wide open. I mean, as you can see, the betting, the favourites 13-2, you know. So it's a wide open race. I've got a few fancies. It's the Betting World 1900. What came out of that race, I wasn't too happy about. I thought those horses are going to battle in the July, in my opinion. They still might progress and get better and show something prior to the July, but I think the winner's going to come out of today's race, the Greyville 1900.
The Daily News 2000.
The Daily News 2000, sorry. I think the winner's going to come out of that race today.
The two horses that are interesting are Al Sahem and Edict of Nantes, because they're both running in the Daily News, Gary. And let's say Al Sahem wins or Edict of Nantes wins. You're not going to get 13-2 or 15-2 after
If you're
today.
going to have a bet, you've got to have a bet now, haven't you? Surely.
And I mean,
you
there's
get the
also
price.
Horizon running today, isn't he?
Yes.
Horizon, yeah.
You know,
Zodiac Ruler.
Zodiac Ruler.
Edict of Nantes,
Copper Force.
Africa Rising. They all got chances. So this is a big eye opener for the July.
Anything on this page catch your eye? Because now we've just mentioned Horizon. I mean, he's not going to disgrace it. He surely won't disgrace himself today.
No, definitely not. Look, his last one was a little bit disappointing, but I think there's a lot of room for improvement. But you know, my short list is Al Sahem for today's race. Black Arthur, although he didn't run the best of races last time, he got into a lot of traffic problems last time, and I think you must watch him, Black Arthur. Marin Naresco, obviously his favourite. He won the drill all by short head. His prep's going very well at the moment. Bella ran in the Tsatsaga Sun Sprint. She ran 3 lengths off them, obviously also earmarked at the July. So there's a lot of value still to be found in the July, and obviously World Sports Betting, if you back them now, you get a refund if they
Has
don't
the
run.
final field been done?
No,
Not yet.
no, not even
Still,
close. But there are a lot of fillies on the
20th, I
page
think.
before this, right?
There's a horse on the page before this. I think she's going to run a good race today, and we'll go through that in our best bets later on. She's 40-1. Her name's Smiling Blue Eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
she might be a miler. That's the only concern, but I also think she'll like Greyville.
What about a horse called Nightingale?
I saw that.
Won the Mallorca, didn't she?
But the interesting one there is, especially if there's a refund, is Bella Bella.
Yes.
Because I
Yeah.
think if Bella Bella runs a big race today, she'll run in the July.
Let's not forget last year she was like favourite for the July.
Exactly, you know.
What about last year's winner? You've all brassed it.
He shortened a lot. He shortened a lot. the
Conglomerate, yeah.
Big runner.
I had him in the
runner.
sweep here, the local teletrack
Did you?
sweep. Yeah,
did
cleaned
you?
up.
More like a butcher's dog, honestly.
Cleaned
But
up.
Biggest graft.
the key to the July, we all got to wait and see what the draws are. That's very important.
Well, last year,
You
the
see-
winner came from draw
Conglomerate
500.
18 or something, wasn't
100%,
it?
but it doesn't always happen. The lightning doesn't strike twice in the same spot. But I think the key is the draws, the jockeys, which jockey's going to ride what. Pierre's still deciding what he's going to ride. He said he might ride one of the Snaith horses, but which one? So we'll see. Yeah, the keys are the draws, and let's see what happens. But it's a wide open July. I think everyone must get involved.
Absolutely. And with that deal, that anti-post deal that World Sports Betting
You
have
can't
got,
lose, can you?
cannot lose.
Well, you're definitely going to get a
You're
run.
going to get a run, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit slower than everyone else. So what you're saying, if I go and back conglomerate and it gets scratched, not putting
You
it
get your
just
money back.
straight away.
Of course. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Good deal.
Okay, right. Doomben race number 6. Robbie Frad and Jeff Lloyd ride at Doomben. Are they riding in race 6, Dom?
Yes, they are.
Do you like their rides?
Well, you know, no, not really. They both. Well, Jeff Lloyd's drawn in a car park on a horse called Singford. But the thing is, let's just touch on the jockeys in Australia. I mean, Jeff Lloyd's leading the jockey table now. He's 56 years old. He's on top of the jockey log. I think he's got 100. He's on 186 or 76 winners. He's doing very well. My fancy for this particular race is a horse called Deploy from the Gerald Ryan stable with Tim Clark on. He ticks all the boxes. His form's very sound. And I was looking on all these Australian websites. He's now won his last 4 starts in a row.
Who? Deploy?
Deploy,
And it's
yeah.
4-1.
It's 4-1. He's won 4 in a row. The only reason why he's 4-1, I think, because he's coming from a little deep draw at 12. And it's a Doomben, which is around the bend, as a tight track. So Tim's got a bit of work to do.
Queensland.
Queens.
Yeah, Brisbane. Dom, where's it been running in its last few starts? Has it been running at Doomben or has it been running in the country tracks?
He's running
Gold Coast.
He's ran at various tracks. He ran at
you
Gold
see.
Coast and a few other tracks.
You see, that might be the case because the main city track is Doomben in Brisbane, and he
Correct,
might have
yeah.
been running in the minor centres, you know.
Flapping
Yeah.
traps.
Yeah, and then this is a big test, and that may be why
Might
it's
be a
4-1.
step up.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a step up in
Yeah.
class, yeah. But he's doing very well, and all the websites reckon that he's going to improve, and he's value for money at 4-5-1. Yeah,
Throwing in my 2 bobs worth there.
yeah,
Well
definitely.
Bob.
Yeah,
And
very good.
the good thing is at World Sports, if you back up to 2,000 rand, you get your money back in free bets if the horse.
How
loses,
does that work?
If
What
it
do you
doesn't run in the first.
So
4.
we've got to follow you,
that's
and
right.
again, we can't lose.
Yeah. So whoever goes for Deploy now,
Okay.
and it doesn't run in the first 4, and they log on to World Sports and have a bet, they get their money back in free bets.
Okay. So that's your best bet.
They can't
Sean,
lose.
bring my phone quickly.
No, no,
you're saying,
That's on.
listen,
So what I'm
they
saying,
back it for a place, right? Then they can't lose.
yeah, the first 4.
Yeah.
So if they have a striker to win, good luck to them. But if it doesn't run in the first 4, they get their money back. If it runs in the first 4 and they take if it doesn't run in the first 4 and they have a place bet, they get their money back.
Have you seen the website, by the way? Well, absolutely,
Yes, we've been punting there for 15 years.
absolutely brilliant. I'm just saying, they haven't. Not you, these. You've never seen it.
What? I've never had a bet in my life. What about race 7 at Doomben? We will obviously bring that to you after race number 6, but I want to get Dom's opinion on that as well. So it's Deploy in race 6. Race 7?
Yeah, I'm going with Chris Wallace stable, the trainer,
Yes.
and Kieran McAvoy, which, you know, Kieran's just won the Melbourne Cup. Talking about the Melbourne Cup, he won it last year. And Egtart, I'll make the best bet of the day in Australia in Doomben today. And I think the guys can have a win bet on Egtart. Also, won a couple in a row now and doing very well. But they all say this one is the graph for the day.
Isn't egg tart Cockney slang for something?
What?
Egg tart, Cockney slang
No,
for something?
I think you're thinking something else.
Apple tart.
Yeah, absolutely
Okay,
right. Yeah.
I thought egg tart was a...
Which, when you sit on this bench, happens very,
No
very
shortage
often
of
on
them.
this couch. Yeah.
And the nice thing about this race, Alistair, it's a $500,000 race.
Sure.
It's a group. I think it's a group 2.
Can you get a pie and coke for that, Rod?
Yeah, you can do it right there. Yeah.
So this would be a nice race.
Yeah, and the previous race 6, is also a group 2. So
Sure.
I'm
very
definitely going
nice
to back
racing
egg
to
tart.
follow.
So which is your best bet of the 2, though?
My best bet out of the 2 is definitely Egtart.
Okay.
But Deploy, I would say, it's value. So that let's take each way on Deploy and a straight win on Egtart. So I think that's the way to go.
Have you ever been to Doomben?
No. Funny? No.
He didn't know. We went to Melbourne. He didn't have a
You
clue.
told that story already.
No, but he didn't know where was anywhere.
Where was anywhere?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He didn't know where you were.
I knew
I said, where do you live? Oh, you go,
Yeah, but it's about 40 k's away, and if I point, it's not going to help you. 40 k's is a fair point. But I
what about
didn't
the
know.
flies?
Yeah. Well, what's it got to do with I didn't know.
Like
They were a lot of flies, weren't they? Yeah, I know.
Big ones.
Yeah. No, it's scary. Yeah. When you go to those country racetracks, I promise you, you've got the guy in front of you who's looking at the bookies board, right? And you're standing behind him. He's got about 18,000 flies on his back. It is true.
Well, why hasn't he got the corks on? I mean, isn't that the reason for
Well,
corks?
that's the Jolly Swagman. That's it's a story.
Jolly Swagman.
It's a story.
What's a Jolly
Doesn't
Swagman?
know, does he?
What's a
a
Jolly
cowboy?
A who?
A cowboy. Of course he wears his hat. And,
A cowboy.
yeah, cowboy.
A cowboy. Sorry, I thought. Sorry.
You mutton jet?
What's that Cockney for?
Oh, nearly said it then. Yeah. Sorry.
Right, just before we go over to Australia, I want to ask Dom his opinion for today's big races, the Daily News 2000 and the Wollongong. Do you have anything for us? Are you going to follow the betting?
Yeah, you know what? I'm an Alsame fan. I think Alsame's going to be very hard to beat in the Daily News. And if anything does upset the apple cart, will be Edict of Nantes. So, yeah, that's my selections.
And the Phillies race, wide open, isn't it?
Wide open, Alistair. I'm not going to make a prediction there. But it's a race to get involved in with quartets and trifectas. It's no straightforward bet there.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are going to take in that next race from Doomben. We're going to be shouting home Deploy, and then we'll be shouting home Egg Tart even louder. And when we come back, Liam will be replacing Dom, and we'll be chatting about all the other sports this weekend. Stay with us.
Obviously, his run in the Stradbroke last year was phenomenal, and you know, hopefully we're able to win this race and get him in there.
Do you get back again?
Well, look, I'm just going to absorb that pressure from the outside, and you know, there should be enough tempo on the race for him. So I would say midfield.
Good luck.
G'day.
The Virginian lining up, hopefully in the Stradbroke next week. He could easily get in to the Stradbroke even if he doesn't get the win here today in the exemption from ballot, because he's at number 18 and there might be a couple above him that do fall away. So the Virginian could get in nonetheless. The horse that really needs the win's attention, because he's 23rd. Yesterday's Song's 19. He's another one who might scrape in if there's a couple drop out. And but maybe X-Team won't run, Duff, who's
there's
above
a couple
them.
of those fillies, but I still think with the Virginian, they'd like to make a good thing of it here and get the money and know they're in the race.
There's Yesterday's Song's about to move up, so let's get to Josh Fleming for the call of race number 6, the Morton Cup.
Now, we've got Perfect Dare about to come up with Hand Fast, Splurge and Federal, the Virginian, Snippets Land, Deploy, Dothraki, Attention, Strawberry Boy, and Siegfried Regis. Moving in well. Group 2 Morton Cup, the Virginian with Snippets Land are about to walk up. That will leave Deploy, Attention, Hand Fast to move in, with Perfect Dare, Strawberry Boy, Dothraki.
Let's go to Glenn Munsey for a final market update.
Okay, Greg, it's $5 the field here. Deploy the favourite. He got into 460. He's just got back to 5 as they go in the barriers. He holds only a very, very small call over both Dothraki and the Virginian at 5.50. Attention's out to 8. Splurge is out to 9. They're the only runners under double figures here. Next pick is Yesterday's Song at 13. It's 16 and longer the rest. So now $5 each of 2, Deploy and the Virginian, and Dothraki right behind them at 5.50. There's still half a dozen to go in here for race 6.
And fast about to move up with Robbie Fradd on board. Once again, here's Josh.
Betting race, Deploy just the favourite over the Virginian and Dothraki. Money for all 3 on course. So Regis goes up and Siegfried the last to move in. He's been in wonderful form, Siegfried. It's a good test for him today, though. So Siegfried walks up and we're right to go for the Group 2 Morton Cup. Deploy just the favourite. Stand by for a start. Red lights on, all in. Right to go. Good line. Set now. Light flashing away. We're right now racing. Dothraki, Perfect Dare, Deploy the first three. The Virginian fourth and Splurges next from Federal. Yesterday's Song's over on the inside. The tension goes forward and then Strawberry Boy. Regis on the outside. Next over on the inside, Snippets Land drifting back and likewise hand fast as well was Siegfried. But Perfect Dare led from Deploy, Dothraki and fourth the Virginian. Fifth is Attention. Sixth is Siegfried. He's gone forward on the outside. Drifting back as Yesterday's Songs as they swing down the side, Splurge out wider, and then Federal, Regis, and also next over on the inside there is Snippets Land. It's back towards the tail and Handfast on the outside as last, and Strawberry Boys out very wide. 450 metres left to go. Perfect Dare just in front from Deploy, Dothraki, fourth of Virginian. Next is Siegfried on the outside, Attention, and then we've got Yesterday's Songs at the 300 metres mark, and Deploy and Dothraki reach the lead together from Perfect Dare. The Virginian runs home on the outside. Dothraki and Deploy. It's on the outside. Dothraki, Deploy from Perfect Dare. Dothraki, Deploy, Dothraki, Deploy, lifting and Deploy off the canvas ahead to Dothraki, third Perfect Dare. It's a photo fourth. Up there is the Virginian. Yesterday's Song, Snippets Land. Federal, Handfast, Attention from Splurge and Siegfried, Strawberry Boy, and Regis was last.
This July, stand a chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the Melbourne Cup in Australia with the World Sports Betting July 6. Place any racing bet of £50 or more before the 1st of July 2017 to enter. Great consolation prizes up for grabs. Predict the first 6 horses to cross the line in mid-July and win. Enter now at www.wsb.co.za. Terms and conditions apply. World Sports Betting. Bet with the best.
Well, with that result, Dom Zaki has just handed in his resignation, ending on a high. Brilliant. I hope everyone back deployed.
Well, they cancelled their sponsorship. Everybody stuck WSB out. You know what I'm saying? That's it. The show's only going to be 20 minutes, they said. They took away the eggs and they left us just with last week's muffins.
Speaking of eggs, now we're going to be shouting home egg tart. We've got doubles going into egg tart. And speaking of doubles, I don't know what this has to do with Liam Delcon, but good morning.
I was hoping you would say tarts.
Morning, Liam.
Good morning, Alistair.
Nice to see you.
Good to be here, thank you.
Yep. You got on deploy. That was a bit of a thrill, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, I sort of, with 200 to go, everybody going deployed, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, it's a horse.
Nice to have you here. And as we saw there's a trip to the Melbourne Cup coming up. Liam, have you ever been to Melbourne? I'm sure you have.
I have. In fact, I've been in Melbourne when they've had the race, so I know that it's complete and utter madness.
Yes.
You cannot try and get a taxi. Because they all commandeered by the folks pouring out of the racecourse, and then they go into town and they either go to a casino. They just don't stop. But it's a fun day.
It is literally the day that stops.
It is basically the day where they have license to misbehave a little bit.
A little bit.
Well, I was being diplomatic there. Come on.
Australians have a license to misbehave all day, every day. Right, now we are going to chat a little bit about football. We got the small matter of the Champions League final tonight. Terry, Juventus against Real Madrid in Cardiff.
Difficult one, isn't it? I mean, how would you go here? I mean, I've been punting Juventus since the start of the Champions League, so I'm not going to desert them now. I do think it'll be extremely close. I've actually had a saver on the draw on 90 minutes because I think it will be very, very close. But over the duration of the game itself, I've gone for Juventus to win it.
I think it'll be a long night. Can you see it going to extra time?
Oh yeah, I can absolutely. That's why I've taken the draw at 90 minutes.
Of course.
He's had another nightmare, isn't he?
Where are they playing this game, Terry?
Cardiff, Cardiff. Very rare. I mean, it used to be Ninian Park, where I used to play in the internationals in Cardiff. City used to play at Ninian Park, but they've got a new fairly new stadium now, and it's nice. I think it's just nice that UEFA and Europe are deciding to go to Cardiff.
A fairly new stadium. It's only, what, 18 years old?
It was called the Millennium Stadium for a reason.
What did you call it? What did you call the stadium?
What? Cardiff.
No, what did you call it? Started with M. What did you call it?
Ninian Park was the old one. Was the old
and the new one?
Cardiff. I think it's called Cardiff, isn't it? I haven't got a clue what it is. Cardiff, I think.
You just said it, Millennium.
Millennium Stadium.
It used to be the
He's
Millennium.
on about the rugby stadium.
used to be
It's the same place. There is only one stadium in Cardiff. Cardiff's the size of this coffee table.
It's
Cardiff
smaller than
is
the
huge. Tiger Bay. Shirley Bassey came from there.
Yeah, well, it's still the size of this table.
It's smaller than the Kruger Park Wales.
Oh, definitely. Smaller than Shepherd Tree Lodge, never mind the
I'll
Kruger
be there
Park.
this weekend.
Yeah, again, another
you
freebie.
going again?
Another freebie.
I'm paying for this one.
No, I don't believe
Hopefully
that.
not the next one.
Now, if you mention them 2 more times, you might get a freebie.
What's the place called, Rod?
Shepherd Tree Lodge.
I've been there. You'll
Have
enjoy
you?
that. Very
Where have
much.
you been?
Shepherd Tree Lodge.
Did you fly over it or stay there?
No, I just stayed there.
Nice.
Yeah, with Nedbank. Very
All
nice.
right, okay, we're getting a bit lost here.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the defence of Juventus against the attack of Real Madrid in a
absolutely.
final. Surely defence serves you better.
Well, I mean, the way they've played, what have they conceded? 2 goals, I think it is, in the tournament. You know, it's pretty.
How many have they scored though? Can
Yeah,
they nick
well,
a goal?
that's the other problem. I mean, come a stage if they go behind, then they might have to
what are
go
they
and
gonna do?
might have to go and try and obviously get a result. That might be the trouble. But you know, they do defend brilliantly. They are. But from day one, I've just looked at the shape of the team, the way they go about it, and how difficult they make it. But of course, they're up against Ronaldo and company, which isn't going to be easy. But I just like the draw. You know, after 90 minutes.
I might have mentioned this before, but their manager, Max Allegri,
Yeah.
favourite thing in the world is horse racing.
Really.
Yep. Never misses. He would have watched deploy, would have shouted deploy with us.
Oh, well, bless. Well, there you go. And Gareth Bale, of course, a massive
doesn't like
disappointment. Massive disappointment from him. Looks like he's in sat on the bench. I mean, he comes from Cardiff, was born in Cardiff, brought up through the Southampton Academy, of course, as you all well know. For him not to start now, I see there's some doubt whether he's going to stay there as well. So there'll be a scramble if he's allowed to leave by quite a few of the Premier League clubs, I would have thought.
I'm going to ask, yeah?
They'll bring him on when they're 3-0 up.
Yeah, well, that's probably...
Well, I was just going to ask,
fine.
that's your indication of who you think is going to lift the cup, Real Madrid.
Yeah, I don't think this Juventus side is as good as the Juventus side of last year and the year before even. I mean, I know what Terry says and they're all well shaped and everything, but I just think that I just got a sneaky feeling that Real Madrid will score early and then there's going to be panic and I don't know what they do after that. What's wrong?
I'm just wondering how that World Sports Betting logo is behind your head. Is there a green screen here? I'm literally freaked out.
Why?
Just go back to Gary's. Where's that World Sport? Ah.
Welcome, Alistair.
That's it. You must stop smoking these plants during Australian races. You're only allowed that when you're having treatment. It's now banned.
Sorry.
You can't smoke the plant.
Okay, so Real Madrid for Gary.
like
Who do you think, Liam?
I'm with Gary on this one, only because Real is the side more likely to nick a goal in a close game. So I'm going to go with Real.
To lift the cup for you, Juventus?
Draw.
Someone's got to lift the cup, Rod.
No, I'm going for the ones with all those
90 minutes, he
that
said it's
Spanish team. What? It's all right. Can I say that?
You can.
Is it right?
Quite right.
Okay, well, I'll go with them because they've got all the stars.
They do have a few stars, that's for sure.
Will it be the first final under roof? Because they will close the roof.
Yes, they will close. I think you're right.
I think it is.
Not that that has any effect, will it?
Well, all it means basically the game will be played in dry conditions, isn't it?
All it means is that the cop-in won't be able to suck the ball towards
suck
them.
the ball in. Quite right.
All right, let's talk about the NFD final. Have you done any homework on this game between Black Leopards and Stellenbosch, Terry?
I haven't. Sammy Troughton, I know Sammy Troughton, of course. He played for me when I was at Pretoria.
Who?
Sammy Troughton. See, you don't even know he's the coach of Stellenbosch.
Well, if you said his name properly, we might have an idea. Who was it?
Sammy Troughton.
Sammy Troughton.
Yeah, that's his name.
Not even the coach knows that we're talking about
That's
it.
right, yeah. And Steve Barker is his assistant.
Steve Barker?
Yeah.
No relation to Clive?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
It's his uncle.
Son.
It's his uncle.
Clive's the uncle or Steve's the uncle?
Steve's the uncle.
Really?
Yeah,
Must be
Clive's
close
the
to
uncle.
200.
He was with me, played for me at Wits. Good little player. Did well. Pretoria City, coached Pretoria City. No, Pretoria University.
Oh, you had a nightmare.
Yeah, Pretoria University.
Who's going to win the game?
Well, they drew, didn't they, the first game?
No.
They drew the first game 2-2.
Barocca played
Against
Stellenbosch.
Barocca, they drew 2-2.
I thought you were talking about these
Black
two teams.
Leopards, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't got a clue. I would have thought the home team, 14-10, would be my favourite, I think. There.
Gary, you tell me you have a clue.
No, I just think in a game like this where you can get 7-22 results, you're much better off. These are the type of games where a little bit of conservatism takes preference, I think, to just having a complete flyer. So they, WSB are offering you a double chance, take the home team and the draw, or the away team and the draw, because I think the most likely result is a draw. So your preference with the draw, and at least you got 2 chances. 2 out of 3.
Liam and I have had this discussion before when it comes to local football. You go with the draw and you can hardly go wrong.
Yeah, but if you have to go for winner there, I'll go with the home side.
Oh, Black Leopards. Okay, of course, Toyandu is not an easy place to go to. Is that on your bucket list?
What do you mean, as a team or just as a tourist?
I know where Toyandu is.
Yeah.
Where? Which province?
Pumalanga.
What about Limpopo?
You interrupted me. I was about to say, when I go to Pumalanga all the time, it's in the left-hand side. It's in Limpopo. It is there. I know where it is.
I'm confused as to where you think it is. Okay, right. There's some friendlies as well coming up today and tomorrow. There's a game today between Portugal and Cyprus, but World Sports Betting are very kind to be giving a nice price on Portugal. There must be certainties. Terry, quickly through these, what sticks out for you?
Well, they're friendlies, and I don't like to get too involved with friendlies because you never know what the selection from the coaches are. But obviously the USA for me would 6-10. I really think that is a good bet. I really do. I know it's short, and when you come, I mean, if Armenia can't beat St Kitts, I mean, if we lived on St Kitts, we'd all be playing for them. So, well, I'm not sure about Rod, but
they have the help of Nevis as well. To be fair,
pardon?
They have the help of Nevis there as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they've got 2 choices there. Yeah. Oh, it's gone. What's happened?
Well, there was teams like Luxembourg.
I
and
know.
Ivory
Well, you wouldn't
Coast.
want to go back then. When was the last time they won a game?
Not
What about Iran down the bottom? They're not a bad side.
right,
They're
well,
not a bad side.
Who's their coach?
Who's this?
Rod?
Carlos Quiroz.
Quite right.
Yeah. Where's Maradona going?
He's in the pub at the moment.
No, but he's been signed up as a new
See, I like a little bit of Uruguay here. I mean, Republic again, but these are all preparation, remember, for the World Cup.
Confederations
for the
Cup.
qualifiers, for the World Cup qualifiers. Nightmare. And
what about a run down?
I don't think St Kitts and Nevis are in contention to qualify for the World Cup.
About the Netherlands. They're not in great form as an international team, I can tell you that. But I'm not sure, again, what the Ivory Coast, because, again, they've all got these qualifiers coming up, so they may be all mixing and matching. So, but that was mine. I went USA, Uruguay and Netherlands are my treble for
Rod,
today.
what's the other name for Ivory Coast?
Contu, something like that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
quite
Contuvar
right,
or something.
Yeah, well done, Rod.
See.
Well done, matey.
For a moment, I thought he was going to name the Chelsea coach.
What did he say?
You wouldn't know who that is.
What did he say? The cock to what?
Contuvar. Anyway, you know what I mean. It's there.
All right, that's football done and dusted. I think the consensus is that Real Madrid are going to lift the Champions League trophy, but there are a lot of options that you can take on World Sports Betting. Now we're going to go into rugby, and there's a special revolving around Gary Lenton with your rugby selections. What might that be? There we go.
Well, there it is. If you back any of my best bet handicap bets.
When was that picture taken?
Last week,
Yeah.
before I shaved. Same time as Dom's. What's wrong with that picture?
Nothing.
What have they done to your waist there? Have they tucked that in? Look at that.
Photoshop.
I promise you now. I asked
That's
him.
been done, I'll tell you
I
that
promise
now.
you. I asked him. I asked Rainer, "Did you do anything?" He said, "No. They just put that blue halo around me. I don't know why they did that." So anyway,
You're the furthest thing from heavenly.
exactly.
That's
so what
very
happens
generous, Gary.
You know, if you get beaten in injury time and you were winning, you get your money back. But I mean, that doesn't happen often because I don't even get close to injury time. Normally my teams are beaten early on. But I have got a best bet there today.
Okay.
And
then
let's
this
see
one.
where it goes. I think
Yep.
it's the same one, right?
No, this is Gary's handicapper. Back Gary's best rugby handicap bet and get your stake back in free bets. If the bet loses due to point score, it is the same. Okay, just take note of those T's and C's at the bottom. Refund is limited to 2,000 Rand, so don't go and have 10 grand on and expect that.
Don't put 10 grand on any of my tips anyway, right? If you're getting your money back or not, 2 grand's more than enough.
Okay, right, let's go through all the rugby because there were 2 games played thus far. One yesterday, it was the Blues against the Reds, and Liam, the Blues huffed and puffed, but again, the Australian teams are found wanting.
Yeah, the disappointing season for the Reds continues. They got a lot closer in this game than I thought they might. Having said that, it it was a bit of an away game for the Blues as well. So the comfort of Auckland, Eden Park, they didn't have in this game. The other thing we need to note about that game is that the stadium was half full because obviously it's not really the Blues' home ground, and secondly, the ticket prices were exorbitant.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you could. It's basically ranged from 20 New Zealand dollars to 250 New Zealand dollars.
What?
So from 130 South African rand to 2,250 South African rand. If
To
you
go
have to
watch
make
the Reds.
To watch the Reds, yeah.
And I think they were a little bit unlucky. If they had Sunnyville Williams playing, I think
Yeah,
they
had a
might have
few
had a
more.
bigger crowd. You know what I mean? A few hundred. He does a track.
Only if Wayne Parnell travelled with him.
Gary?
Pardon?
35,000 again?
No, 40.
No, they're still stuck in Port Elizabeth.
But the excuse was made that because it's a home game for the Blues, they set the prices that they need to recoup some of the money for flying to Apai and then to have to stay there for a few
I
days.
just want to say something. We have a go every week at the South African franchise. You know what I mean? And justifiably, because most of them are useless, right? But having said that, this week they're not playing, and you've got to just admit there's not as much excitement about Super Rugby this weekend.
Not here. I bet in New Zealand it's a fever
I don't know
pitch.
so much. These games just don't have that spark when the South African side's not there, you know?
Well, the Crusaders, the Highlanders this morning, there would have been a bit of spark there, I would imagine.
Yeah, they got
Leo,
murdered, the Highlanders.
what about Cheetahs going to play in this Europe 12? Is that going to happen?
Increasingly, it does look that way. South African rugby is very keen for whoever loses out of Super Rugby to go play somewhere else, to give them some form.
Give them permission?
They'll get the thumbs up. I'm pretty sure about that now.
Would that make sense, so travel-wise and everything?
It's actually easier because it's in the same time zone. It's a 10, 11-hour flight in most cases, so it will be less taxing than playing in Super Rugby.
How do you think Cheetahs would do
I think they'll struggle initially, but I think they'll be okay. They'll probably be mid-table, I would imagine, because those sides are quite strong in the Pro 12.
There was another game played early this,
so that would be
and also for them,
interesting,
it'll be quite a big adjustment, especially the away games, to play in those conditions every week. So it will be a challenge.
Might actually do South African rugby more favours than harm.
Could be a long-term solution.
All right, now, what about the other game this morning, Gary? Did you see that?
Yeah,
the overrated Highlanders ran the unbeaten Crusaders.
Yeah.
And speaking of your special, had this been one of your bets, you would have got your stake back because the Crusaders scored a last-minute drop goal.
100%, you know what I mean? You would have got your money back, correct, exactly.
What a good deal that is. What a good deal that is.
Great deal.
Full of good ideas, World Sports.
Yeah, not half.
So that's to be
I just hope they paid us up front, because when everybody takes advantage of these specials, right? I mean, advantage got to be with the punter here. You know? Got to be with the punter.
Don't you have to define stoppage time?
Don't you have to do what?
Define stoppage time.
Anything, once that clock says 80 minutes.
Anything over that.
After that is stoppage time. You know, once it goes red, that's it. You know?
Gary, you must have been nervous this morning with the Highlanders, eh?
You know, I phoned my travel agent. I said, what does it cost a business class ticket to New Zealand? So I got two quotes. I wasn't nervous after the second one. The first one was if you flew business class, it was 69,000. The second one, if you rode business class, was 1,200 rand. So I told her just to get one, you know what I mean, just hold it. You know?
And they played well. This was a good game to watch. I got up at 4 o'clock to specially watch this game, and you reckon I wasn't pulling on the tail of Crusaders.
With your passport.
They played well, eh? Gee, there were some big hits, exciting. Your mate, Marty Banks, what a player this guy is. He missed one kick on a conversion, he hit the post.
Cost them, not good enough.
No, we got 2 points, still would have gone down by a point. They lost by 3. But he's not a bad player, I tell you what. And I didn't realise that he was only a replacement coming in for the guy who's now come back from injury.
Lima Sapawanga.
That's the chap. So, I wasn't going to say that.
No,
it's time of the morning. So, yeah, but they played really well. They're a good side, Gary. They had 9 on the bounce, and they've run the undefeated side to 3 points. So they're certainly not out of it.
They do have a decent record against the Crusaders, though. Even in the game early in the season, they gave them a good run for their money.
Yeah, they did. But the Crusaders got a couple of big tests coming up. I mean, let's take the focus a little bit away from the Highlanders. What's that?
Against the British and Irish Lions.
Well, that's not that important for them right now, right? I mean, the test matches are much more important. But when they come back from the series, they got to play the Chiefs, I think, and the Hurricanes.
No, they've got the Hurricanes.
Definitely the Hurricanes.
Yeah,
and I think the Chiefs as well, but the Hurricanes as well. They still got
I think they're done with the Chiefs. Yeah. They played them a few weeks ago.
Okay, then they've got to play the Hurricanes in Wellington, last game of the season. If they lose that...
Well, they're guaranteed a final spot. The Blues can't catch them. Really?
The Blues.
No, the Blues.
No one can catch them.
No.
No, the
But then at the
Crusaders-
point,
No, I'm saying
only the
they're
Lions
guaranteed a
can
spot.
only the Lions can catch them on the overall
Yes,
lot.
yes.
But if they win in Wellington, they secured that, because even if the Lions then win with a bonus point in their last remaining matches, they'll still be a point shy.
Whereas the draw would have put them under pressure.
Yeah.
There's the game on the go at the moment. The Chiefs are 13-0 up against the Waratahs in Waikato. There are 2 more games that we need to talk about as well, maybe even 3 if we can sneak in the British and Irish
remember
Lions.
Sunday, they're still betting at WSB
Yeah,
now, this
in
game
running.
down in rugby,
Yes.
in running, you know what I'm saying?
But you got to be mad if you're going to back against the Chiefs.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have backed them earlier.
Well,
this
at
morning,
12-0 this morning, would you have backed against the Crusaders?
Exactly.
Wouldn't touch an Australian team, unless they're one of these two. Brumbies and the Rebels. Liam, surely this will be one-way traffic, because the Brumbies still got to fight to get into that
The
final
Rebels
8.
have a habit of sucking the other Australian teams into their mediocrity. But I think the Brumbies will beat that spread. I think they're almost safe. If they win this one, they will definitely be safe in terms of the Aussie Conference. So there is that incentive. They'll beat the spread.
Gary, anything to add?
I think the Brumbies are going to murder them today. I really do. I think that, for me, 9 to 10, the Brumbies, I think they could go past that spread early on. I would have a bet in that game.
And they've shown decent form in recent weeks. Remember, they came to beat the Kings, and they went to Buenos Aires and beat the Jaguares, something the Lions couldn't do.
Well, the second-rate side. And they lost...
Well, that's an opinion, isn't it? If you take your chances and you send that side, you can't go and say, oh, we lost...
Absolutely right. No,
They've
I'm
done
not...
2 years in a row.
No,
so
I fully agree
They're
with you.
consistent. That's all you want out of a coach. Consistently lose that game. It could cost you a home final.
Could cost them another home final.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's just crazy.
And the last game, 22.5 is the spread here between the Force and the Hurricanes. I assume both of you think that the Hurricanes will go past that.
But I'm comfortable about this one because the Force, again, another mediocre Australian side, they drag it on in the mud with them. But the Hurricanes, I mean, they need 3 moments of magic and they'll beat that spread. I mean, because they will have a comfortable buffer, I would imagine, by 65 minutes, and they may run away with it at the end. So.
And he's got a lot of his stars coming back. He's got a powerful Hurricane side there today. He's playing out. Yeah.
No, they're a good side, eh?
They're a good
Exciting
side.
side to watch.
Yeah,
Plenty
great
of
side.
tries. Yeah.
You know, great side.
And of course, the British and Irish Lions are in action for the first time in New Zealand this weekend.
Yeah, what about that?
What
Have
about
you
it?
seen how many games they got to play?
Only
Is that normal?
The moment they touched down, they started whinging, like they always do. Like, we've
Get
only
over
got
it.
2-3 days to prepare. You've had how many years?
Yeah, 4.
What,
Yeah,
they
I know of.
they
And
not allowed to train in England? Not allowed to train there?
Exactly, it's pathetic. And they got 10 games.
10
the
games.
British and Irish
Is that
Lions
normal?
used to, no, they used to have 20 games
Yeah.
on their tour.
Really?
They've got
They've
less
got far
now.
less games now than they've ever had. This is the least games they've ever had on a tour, this tour, and they're moaning.
They
What a
take-
bunch of
take
wins.
2 teams, so they've got a dirt
Yeah,
track.
no, I
dirt track
understand.
And it's
Yeah,
going to get
sure,
less in
yeah.
future because they're going to rejig the world calendar, basically, for rugby. And there'll be less time for Lions tour, so it might go down to maybe 8 games.
Crazy. Look, besides today's game, where they are far superior to the opposition, everything else is going to be competitive. They have got tough games. The Blues, the
Will they
Crusaders.
beat the All Blacks?
When
I
they
think it'll
laugh.
be...
No, they've won a series. No, they've never won a
No,
series.
No, they
think
won.
so.
They won in '71.
Yes, so they
And
have won a series.
the core of that team came here in '74 and 1 year as well.
What about Eddie Jones's comments during the week?
Yeah,
and then he
go,
went back
didn't he?
on telly and said,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I was just
I was only
messing around."
playing,
Yeah. Who was having a dig at there? It wasn't the main coach, was it? It was the other guy. He said
No,
his
it was
sparring
the-
partner.
No, I think it was
Wayne
the main
Smith.
guy.
No, he has a
was
go
it?
at
Yeah,
captain,
it was the
yeah,
main
yeah.
guy.
Wayne
No,
Smith.
No, he said-
No, he's talking about the British and Irish Lions coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Captain,
Yeah.
I think he does.
And he had a go at him and saying they won't
But
play
then he
the
said-
right style of rugby and all. Was
Yeah.
that the gist of it?
Yeah, that was exactly right.
The kids of it, yeah. He plays for Toulon, by the way. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think the Lions really got a chance against the All Blacks?
They have a chance of winning one test. I doubt they'll come away from New Zealand with a 2-1 win.
Do you think they can win a test against that side?
I doubt it. I think it'll be 3-0.
So get on.
Best, I think, case scenario for them is win the first test, but then after that, I can't see the All Blacks.
What is the betting on that series?
Yeah, what
You
would
could
it be?
get
Well, we'll
8 to
discuss that
10.
more next week.
8.5 to 10 on WSB now. The All Blacks to win 3-0. The first test,
Yeah.
they got a market. I've seen it all. Minus 8.5 the All Blacks, but
I
you have to
like
take 8 to 10.
I like that. Okay, we need to talk about cricket because we still got to go back to Doomben and shout home egg tart. Rod, 2 games, well, I suppose 1.5 games played because you guys got out of jail yesterday thanks to the weather.
Who's you guys? Am I a South African now? I've lived here longer than I lived in Australia, or am I still in Australia? And
I promise you, if you stood on the side of the road and started talking, everyone would think that you're Australian still. So
Okay. All right, well, let's have a look. England you know, they chased down 300. So Bangladesh, well done to them. They put up a good fight. But England winning with, what was it, 14 balls to spare.
16.
16, well done. Just round it up, Terry.
Yeah.
So, but look,
but the point is,
yeah.
you said they, I mean...
Well, I don't think there's any side that stands out.
You say that if they got 300,
yeah.
I mean, it's the norm now, isn't it,
exactly.
to get 300 plus.
Yeah. Well, the IPL's just brought in so many more shots and it's so much harder to contain players. Having you look at that betting now, I mean, obviously South Africa's playing Sri Lanka today, and don't even turn around and say, oh, that's a Monty. Any one of these sides, if you have a little bit of a slip or drop a couple of catches, any of these sides can beat you. I mean, Bangladesh proved the other night, maybe they've played their big game for the tournament already, scoring 300 runs. But looking at that, everyone's been asking me, who do you think's going to win it? Who's going to win it? Matthew Britton, who works here.
Does he still work here?
Well, he pops in every now and then. He picks up his cash, I can tell you that. He said to me, who are you tipping? I said, I've tipped South Africa in the last 2 World Cups, so I won't tip them this time. He said, good, he's backing them. So they have got the side to win it, let's be honest. They really have. But I say that every single time, and I'm not going to tip.
Well, they've always got the personnel, let's be honest. For the last 16 years, South Africa have had the personnel.
100%.
They've had some of the best cricketers in the world. Pollock,
100%.
Donald,
Cullis.
It just doesn't stop. Steyn, Boucher, Smith. It just doesn't stop. Even this bunch, you know. De Villiers, you know what I mean? Faf du Plessis. De Klerk.
Is this the last chance for this generation to win something?
Because I don't think so. I think they've got one more World Cup.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, just look at just what we've just watched against South Africa and England.
Yeah.
I mean, England beat them fairly comfortably in the 2.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and then you have a disastrous day and you're gone.
I don't agree with that. The second one, they were very, very lucky.
South Africa,
they still won it. That's the point.
But in my opinion, England cannot win this because I don't think,
why do you say that?
I tell you why. I just don't think their bowlers can defend an ordinary score, Rod. I just think their bowlers aren't good enough. They're 2 best bowlers in England.
And Wokes is out, by the way.
And Wokes is out.
And he took 80. You know, and he's taken 89 wickets, more than any other English in this format.
Really?
Do you know that?
I didn't know
89 wickets he's taken, and he's out, and he's our straightest bowler. You know,
well, I mean, the best bowlers all round, without any question, Anderson and Broad.
Yeah.
I know that, and they're not playing here. I just don't think England can defend. And yes, they chased 300, but the truth is that Bangladesh attack, they were either too short or half volleys. They never bowled anything on a good length. You know what I'm saying? It was just too easy for
they'd have to make
a class
380
batsman.
to put you
I
under
don't think
pressure.
England can win this.
I think the danger side for me is to see how India-Pakistan, which are playing tomorrow, that's going to be a cracking game. It really is. Because there are
some crackers going off in the stadium.
Huh?
Might be some
They may not be crackers. That's
But you know, the arch enemies, they live next door, they don't really enjoy each other too much. It'll be a cracking game. And India have got a very good side, but how are they going to perform in the English conditions is going to be the biggest thing for their batsmen.
They won it 4 years ago in England.
No, I understand that. But, you know, they've been almost unbeatable at home in this last calendar year. They've been unbelievable. But now they're coming back to English conditions. We saw Rabada bowl the other day. You saw, even last night a little bit, Hazelwood. That sort of bowler is good. And if you can bowl Yorkers and Rabada, how good's this kid going to be?
Brilliant.
I mean, he bowls 145 to 150, bowls Yorkers at will when he wants to. But every bowler's going to have a tough day in this tournament because, you know, the batters will get on top and that, and especially the quicker you bowl, the quicker you go to the fence. So I can't be a coward, Terry, can I?
No.
Not like you.
Got to come down, you've got to go.
I've got to pick someone, don't I?
We have for a change,
Okay, Australia got out of jail. You're 100% right last night. They were never going to get that score.
No.
Never, ever, as long as they had a hole in their throat.
I just want to ask you one thing because we've got to hurry. We've got to do tennis and we've got to go off to Australia quickly. Moses Henriquez, what has he done to get into that side?
I looked at him. He averaged 6 before last night's game.
Did he?
Averaged 6.
I looked at him and I thought, what's he doing there? Absolutely right.
Actually, to be fair, he got a couple of quick runs to get him going. But the guy is out of form there. What's his name? You know? Finch. How out of form's he? Swinging like a rusty gate.
He got 100.
You talk about him.
Chris Lynn. Stick Chris Lynn.
You talk about him being out of form. What about Roy for England?
Yeah, he's had a bit of a...
He's not going to get...
Bairstow's got to go back in there.
I would have thought
Absolutely agree. So winner for you?
You know I'm going to tip and you're all going to laugh at me.
Go on then.
Australia. I think Australia in the big occasions. They didn't look good last night, did they? They didn't look good.
But they try and peak at the right time. Who do you think?
That's it.
I'm going for South Africa, actually. I think they will win it. I think
Liam?
they're the best side.
I'm going to go left field here. Pakistan.
Sure.
Pakistan, you get any price you like there and your money back as well.
And Gary?
I got South Africa.
Okay, so 2 votes for South Africa for the Champions Trophy. Sincerely hope they're right, but I do have my doubts.
Who are you going for, matey?
I'm going for England.
As soon as I saw the draw, I had my doubts whether England would have got out of that group. It's changed a bit, obviously, now because they've won and the other two mobs.
Someone's going to miss out in that group. New
Exactly.
Zealand, Australia or England.
Well, England are going to get through now if they win one more game. But we need to move on to tennis quickly because, of course, we're about halfway through the French Open. And Djokovic got out of jail yesterday, Liam. He struggled to beat Diego Schwartzman.
He
5
did.
sets.
And the point has been made that his desire doesn't seem to be the same as it was maybe a year or 2 years ago. There was a fascinating interview with Mats Wielander on this topic, and he said that he went through the same phase. We mentioned Boris Becker. You know, you get to a certain point in your career, and then other things become more important. I suppose Andy Murray will probably go through it as well. So, you know, as much as Djokovic has played well earlier in the year, and him saying that the desire is back, you see games like that and you have to wonder. I mean, I doubt very much if he comes up against Rafael Nadal that he'll be able to topple him.
I think, listen, 11 to 20 is the price on Nadal. I think he's an absolute certainty, Gary. He's won every game in straight sets.
He's just looking so comfortable. I read an article by one of the other good players there who said that the problem is Nadal just doesn't believe he can lose to anybody here. And other players agree with him, so just gets on the court with such a mental advantage. I mean, what you wanted 9 times, he's going for 10 French Opens here. I mean, he just owns Roland Garros, doesn't he? You know what I'm saying? And on current form, Djokovic has always been his problem. I think he'll beat Djokovic in the semi-final. Then who's he going to have in the final? Wawrinka or...
Yeah, I fancy him a little bit, 9-1.
Yeah, he's a bit of value.
I do, you man.
I'll tell you who I think is going to go far, deep into the tournament, perhaps semi-finals. Marin Cilic, back him until
he was any
gets
price,
beaten.
wasn't it?
43 to 1. And also, I think Venus Williams is going to go well.
16 to 1.
Yep, saw that. Right, we're going to go back to Doomben. We're shining home egg tart here. Dom the Bomb gave us egg tart earlier on. After this, we'll chat a little bit about golf, UFC, and basketball.
Obviously is coming back from 2,500, but I love to run behind Egg Tart in South Australia.
Yeah, look, the form fits in well with the two favourites here. So, yeah, look, just Whistle was across the road at 2,400 with her.
Third of the Waller runners, Invincibella, Larry Cassidy.
And gets a nice run again from her draw here, but I think she needs to find a length or two to be beating the stablemates.
Spot on. She's just a length or two off them.
6 is Oklahoma Girl, Waller and Shin.
Yeah, I think she's a real winning chance back on top of the ground.
I love her desire. She just puts in every time she goes round. She's got a turn of speed, which could help her here too.
7 is Perilous Love, Morrissey and Lloyd.
Yeah, and with the right ride here and run in transit, could see her in the placing. She's the best of the locals.
Yeah, made good ground at big odds in the lead up. Just need to see her reproduce that though.
8 is Cross Stitch, Waller and Clark.
Yeah, she comes out of a nice second at Randwick last time out. She's probably a leader from that draw as well.
Yeah, leaders are no disadvantage today either. That's her best chance. She maps well.
Here's Pygmy, Beedman and Berry.
Yeah, pretty interesting name that, isn't it? So obviously a last start winner and drawn the car park.
Comes here with different form. That's the positive with her. The horse she beat the other day come out and won again in town since.
Isn't She Elegant, number 10 for Ben Curry, Damien Lane.
Won over 2,000 metres at Toowoomba last start. I don't know that that'll be good enough.
Yeah, got gate speed and in good form, but hard to have in this class.
11 is Sharp Speedo, Chris Anderson, Paul Hammersley.
A bit in the same boat for mine. I guess they're having a throw at the stumps. You're only 3 once.
Yeah, genuine, but outclassed.
12 is Blanco Cara, John Thompson, Jason Collett.
Good stable and good at the distance, but the class factor a question.
A real knockout chance. Caught the eye in the bracelet, and dry tracks are definitely her go. 13 Shenandoah, Natalie Young and Trent Bussett and Train. Ollie rides.
Yeah, by Darcy Brahma, a really nice Kiwi. Never on the track last time out. A real improver, I think.
Yeah, stuck on well too, and she does look to get into a really good spot here.
14 is Baser, Chris Waller, Leith Innes.
Yeah, Team Waller again. Last start winner, drawn 1. Beware.
Yeah, respect the stable, and back to dry, but you know, not as much guts to a form than a few of her stable mates.
Another grey is Mia Rosa, number 15, Mike Moroney and Patrick Maloney.
Well, he knows how to find a winner to win an Oaks, Moroney. They did ride her very negatively last time out. Maybe from the draw today they go a bit more forward, Ron.
Yeah, best long shot. 1,400 to 2,000 metres second up and was very, very good. Looks big odds to my eye.
Here's Carini, number 16, Waller and Mellum.
Yeah, and second to the Blanco Cara, Ronnie, who you like a little bit there as well. You probably know a bit more about her.
I don't think she can turn the tables on Blanco Cara on their last run.
Jared McLean's joining me now from the Darren Weir stable. Canedna, she must be a tough filly.
Yeah, she's incredible. I actually thought she'd had enough months ago, but here we are early June and we're fronting up again, and she's paraded really well.
Well, you won the Roses. Egg Tart was too good for you in the Swept Oaks. Can you turn the tables on her?
Well, hopefully. I think the way it pans out, Johnny will probably follow it, whereas in Adelaide, Egg Tart followed Johnny. But, yeah, both fillies were really good in Adelaide and there wasn't much between them, so no doubt there won't be much between them here again today.
Game on.
Game on.
Good luck.
Thank you.
There's Jared McLean from the Darren Weir camp. Now, Duff, what are you going for?
Late mail here, Greg, 2, 6, 1 and 15. I'm going to the line with Egg Tart. She's just in such a winning frame of mind, shooting for 6 wins straight. Hopefully things fall into place for her from an awkward draw, but Karen McAvoy will leave that job to him. I think Oklahoma Girl has got a terrific hope. She's just so genuine. What you see is what you get. She doesn't know how to run bad. Canedna's got out to massive odds here, and the best bolter by far is number 15, Mia Rosa, a lightly raced filly who I thought her first run at 2000 was pretty good last time. 2, 6, 1 and 15.
OK, Bernadette Cooper, what do you like?
Yeah, I'm going the way of the 4 here, Anna Royale. I really don't think there's much between her, Egg Tart and Canedna. It'll just be luck in running, and she just needs to get onto the back of the right horse from about the 3 onwards. So I'm going to go with her. I was happy with how she looked in the yard as well. Canedna, I'm really worried about Canedna. She looked bright and on her toes in the yard. 6, Oklahoma Girl, love her will to win. And 2, obviously, Egg Tart brings the class factor. 4, 1, 6 and 2.
OK, let's go to Glenn Munsey now with a market update from tab.com.au.
Well, Greg, the market says there's only 2 runners here, and they are Egg Tart and Dawn Wall. This is a massive go in a Group 1 race, Dawn Wall, when you consider it was a $6.50 chance this morning. Even on the flux here, it's 5 into 3.80. So it's just check. It was 6, and then may have even been $6.50. In fact, yeah, it was $6.50 when we did the preview. So that's at 10:30 this morning. It's now a $3.90 chance. Egg Tart's been very, very solid at the top of the market. It's a $3 chance. Dawn Wall, as I said, at $3.90. Anna Royale and Canedna have been steady drifters right throughout the day. Canedna now into third pick at $8.50. Did touch 9. Anna Royale's at 9. Oklahoma Girls on the double figure line there at 10. Shenandoah stayed around the $18 mark, and then it's $26 and longer the rest. Easily the most popular runner is Egg Tart, but a massive firm today in the shape of Dawn Wall.
OK, thanks, Glenn. Let's go over to Chantel. She's just not quite ready just at the moment as the national anthem sings out here at Doomben. So it's Waller versus the rest, Duff.
Yeah, the betting says Waller versus Waller, 5 to 3.90 Dawn Wall, and Rock Hard 2 to 1, $3 Egg Tart on track. So there's your 2 in the betting, and you can have your pick the rest as far as the betting's concerned. So look, Egg Tart's been up a while, but still, she's just been so good all the way through, and took that wet track form to dry last time. But look, you don't want to be giving them too big a start here. I know that it's a staying 3-year-old fillies race, but it's going to be really hard if these horses overdo it out the back.
Gee, there's a few horses here who've been up for so long. You don't often see that, Duff, do you, where like Canedna and Anna Royale and Perilous Love's been up a while. Let's go to Blake Shin, who's now alongside Chantel Buckley, rides Oklahoma Girl.
Blake, obviously you've never ridden her at a race, but you have trialled her before. How confident are you?
Look, I'm quietly confident. You know, her form lines are, around the leading contenders, Canedna and whatnot. So, look, I think she comes here with the right preparation. She's got one of Australia's leading trainers, Chris Waller, who's planned her perfectly into today, and the distance I feel won't be a problem, and drawn a lovely barrier to get a nice run, and she come to the gates beautiful. She's nice and relaxed, and it's all the good signs for her to run a great race.
Would you have liked to have seen a little bit more give in the track?
Possibly, yeah. The track is riding firm, and her form, some of her best form is on wet tracks, but she has performed on firm surfaces, so my confidence isn't deterred coming into today, that's for sure.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
There was a nice close-up there of little Tommy Berry on Pygmy as they get set to move in here. The 2 in very similar colours here, 14 Besa and 16 Carini. Besa has got the blue cap, white cap. That's Besa there, blue cap, white cap on Carini in the Neville Morgan colours. There's Carini there. So just about set, Bernadette, in a well, what was going to be a very open race, but they really like Dawn Wall. They've come for it, but Great Oaks ahead of us at the 2200.
And isn't it going to be interesting with Knedner and Egg Tart and Anna Royale? They've all drawn beside each other, sort of in the middle of the ruck.
Only one Oaks has been run here at Doomben over 2200, and it was won by the champion Winks 2 years ago. So can Chris Waller keep up his perfect Doomben Oaks record? Let's go to Josh Fleming now as Mia Rosa looms in, a roughie from Ron Duffy. Final check on the market with Glenn Munsey as this continued for Dawn Wall.
Just got out, Greg. Egg Tart got out 3 to 3.10. Dawn Wall 3.90 to 4. Knedner stayed 8.50. Oklahoma Girl into 9, and Anna Royale gets to $9.50. But Egg Tart and Dawn Wall, the two they want here in the Oaks.
Okay, we've still got Blanco Cara to come up. Pigney yet to move in. Dawn Wall still to move up. And isn't she elegant? There's Oklahoma Girl about to walk forward in the famous Cerise colours. And they're moving in quite well. Here's Josh Fleming for race number 7. It's the Group 1, Treasury Brisbane, Queensland Oaks.
Perilous Love amongst the final ones to move in. And Dawn Wall and Egg Tart, the two favourites, are away from the gate. So about 4 to move in. Treasury Brisbane, Queensland Oaks at Doomben for 2017. And the favourite Egg Tart to move in for McAvoy. And Perilous Love to go for Dawn Wall and Pygmy as well. So we're nearly right with probably 2 or 3 to move in. Egg Tart, the favourite, is one of those. And Pygmy may well be the last to move in. So we're just about right. Looks like they've all moved up for the Queensland Oaks. Egg Tart, the favourite. Stand by for a start. All moved in at the top of the home straight. Fillies are right to go. 2200 the trip. Lights on. Favourite Egg Tart. Racing. Egg Tart away okay with Blanco Cara, Invincibella, Mia Rosa. And there's Cross Stitch going forward. Shenandoah's handy as well. Isn't she Elegance out wide going up there? And Dawn Wall coming over with her. But Invincibella's in front from Isn't She Elegant, Mia Rosa, Shenandoah. Cross Stitch over on the inside. Dawn Wall slots in out 3 wide with cover. One of its many stablemates in the race there is Baser over on the inside of Oklahoma Girl. And Blanco Cara's out 3 wide. Egg Tart slots in on the outside of Anna Royale. Perilous Lovers next and might be 3 wide there. Knedner next on the outside of Kirani. Sharp Speedo second last. And Pygmy's gone back to last of all, about 14 lengths off Invincibella. She led the way in the Queensland Oaks by just over 2 lengths here from Isn't She Elegant. Third Cross Stitch and fourth Shenandoah. Fifth on the outside is Mia Rosa. A length and a half to Blanco Cara. She's out 3 wide, no cover down the back. Next placing Baser over on the inside of Dawn Wall. And 3 lengths away to Oklahoma Girl. And Perilous Love's out wider. Anna Royale's over on the inside. Egg Tart's only got 4 behind her. And they include Knedner and Kirani from Pygmy second last. And Sharp Speedo's last, about 14 lengths off of Invincibella. 1,000 metres from their judge. Invincibella's out by a length and a half. Blanco Cara out 3 wide. Strides up into second. Back to third is Isn't She Elegant. Fourth is Cross Stitch. And 3 lengths Shenandoah, who's over on the inside of Mia Rosa. A further break of 4 lengths away to Baser over on the inside of Dawn Wall. Perilous Love has worked. Oklahoma Girl is next. Egg Tart on the outside creeping forward. Anna Royale's over on the inside. Cadeta's back about 4th last. 3rd last on the outside. Sharp Speedo from Pygmy second last. And Kirani dropped out last of all. 500 metres left to go. Invincibella still just in front from Blanco Cara. Isn't She Elegant? Cross Stitch over on the inside. Shenandoah's over on the rail there. Mia Rosa have peeled out. And Dawn Wall and Egg Tart towards the outside of the 300 metres mark. Invincibella is still the leader from Cross Stitch. Isn't She Elegant? Oklahoma Girl. Shenandoah Shenandoah. Here's Egg Tart down the outside. She's finishing brilliantly, Egg Tart. She's raced up and reached the lead from Oklahoma Girl. Egg Tart's in front, and it's Egg Tart for the Oaks. It's a photo second between out wide Pygmy flashing at Oklahoma Girl. A further photo fourth, Canedna up there with Invincibella, Cross Stitch, Anna Royale, Shenandoah, Kirani Baza. Next in was Mia Rosa, and then we had Sharp Speedo, Blanco Cara, Dawnwall, Perilous Love, and isn't she elegant about the last one?
Chris Waller wins his second Queensland Oaks, both of them at Doomben. 2 years ago with Winks, today with Egg Tart. Pygmy will get second in front of Oklahoma Girl, and Canedna in fourth spot just in front of Cross Stitch, Invincibella, then Basa, Anna Royale, and then Dawnwall, Shenandoah. And Carini was behind those with Mia Rosa. Well, let's go straight to Karen Mack.
This July, stand a chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the Melbourne Cup in Australia with the World Sports Betting July 6. Place any racing bet of £50 or more before the 1st of July 2017 to enter. Great consolation prizes up for grabs. Predict the first 6 horses to cross the line in mid-July and win. Enter now at www.wsb.co.za. Terms and conditions apply. World Sports Betting. Bet with the best.
Well, I'm surprised that 5 of us still here. We're all going for breakfast. We're going to have the biggest breakfast ever. I'm sure everyone is as well. The only people that aren't going to be having breakfast this morning is World Sports Betting. Dom Zaki's cleaned them out, Gary.
You've got to be a complete retard if you haven't got an account at WSB and you don't follow Dom's tips. Because in the unlikely event that it doesn't win, definitely you're going to get some of your money back, right?
Yes.
With these specials. And if it does win, you just get more entries into the competition to go to Melbourne. Good luck to Dom. 2 out of 2. 16 to 1 the double.
Yeah.
That's it. We'll never see Dom again. He's off to Melbourne. He doesn't need anything for free. Just books and off he goes. On contest, whoosh. Good luck.
All of life's problems have now ended. Right, now let's go into golf. We've still got a few more things we need to talk about. It's the Memorial going on at the moment, and Terry, Jason Duffner.
I know. Can you believe?
What a year he's having.
Yep. Can you believe?
Can he get caught?
Well, I mean, 2 rounds to go, anything can happen, but I mean, he's certainly got a useful start, and if he's 5 clear there. I like Justin Thomas, funny enough. I know he's 6, but I'd certainly back him for a top 3 place. I really would.
That's your Barney tip yesterday at lunch with Barney. He
did he? Yeah, I think he's a good player. I really do.
I'll tell you
what,
what,
some decent players there, let's be honest.
I'll tell you why we're bringing up golf with such interest is because one of Liam's best bets is for Jason Duffner to not make the top 3. He's 15 shots clear of second. How's he going to not make the top 3?
Second? No, he's not. That's not quite true.
Well, I exaggerated a little bit.
It is a very, very long shot, but it's one I'm prepared to take.
Why do you think the wheels are going to fall off?
He has the propensity to go.
Do you remember a couple of years ago where he had that unbelievable season, going back 3 or 4 years ago? Is that about right? Then he got married, the wheels come off again, didn't they?
Yeah, because Tiger Woods slept with his wife.
Did he really?
Yes, that's true.
Shit,
You know?
Is that right?
Yeah, and see what's happened to him.
How's Tiger?
How bad are those
Oh,
pictures?
did he? Is that what happened?
Where's America? I mean, they flash that all over the world. I mean, shocking.
I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to be, if any movie makers are out there, I'll be the director for the Tiger Woods movie because that's going to be a hit.
But I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. They took a breathalyzer and they say that it, and
afterwards they said there's no alcohol in it.
I actually believe that it was the medication from his... Even the way he was talking, he didn't look like some of the guys here look after a Friday afternoon, right?
What upset me when I saw just the still photograph, he looked about 60 years of age.
He doesn't look well, eh?
He doesn't look well.
He should never take his cap off. Him and Jim Furyk should get caps tattooed to their head. I mean, Jim Furyk takes off that cap, he looks 113, right?
He does, absolutely.
Shame, man.
Yeah, so that was tragic.
Liam, have you taken off your cap this morning?
Many times.
What do you mean he's got it on?
All right, now let's move into some NBA. By the way, before you love your NBA. Before we actually get into the second playoff game, Look at that bottom little bit. World Sports Betting. You're streaming this game live for South African viewers. So go on to worldsportsbetting.co.za. I must say, I didn't have much time for basketball until, 9 months ago, and I went to go and watch the Oklahoma City Thunder against the LA Clippers. Absolutely loved it. So I've been following this season. It's Steph Curry's Golden State Warriors against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Gary.
Yeah.
You've done your homework on this as well. I wonder if we agree.
Okay, so let me go back to last year where the two sides played in the NBA final as well.
Yes.
The first game, the Golden State Warriors won by 15 points. The second game, they went on to win by 30 points, 33 points, and then they got beaten.
Yes.
Then LeBron James kicked into action and everything. The first game, game one, which took place 36 hours ago, Golden State Warriors won again, and they won easy by 25 odd points. LeBron James was the only player that stood up for the Cavaliers, but not even close to good enough. They will definitely, the Golden State Warriors will win the second game again by more than 20 points. It's one of my best bets. They're just too good and too dominant.
I never follow it, but can you have different bets within
you can go minus start.
Oh, can you?
You can go points in the first quarter point. And WSB do it on every single... There are more bets on the NBA than on anything else almost. It's just crazy. And like I said, you watch it on your tablet or wherever you want to watch it live streaming. It's brilliant. It's like watching it on TV.
Not a good week for LeBron because he's had a bad week. I mean, apart from the defeat, he's also got his house or the wall outside his house vandalized.
Yeah.
I can't repeat what was written on the wall.
Oh, really? Yeah,
it was quite strong what he said, wasn't it? Yeah,
that's pretty profane.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
yes.
I'm not going to repeat.
By the way, Quibus, our producer, just counted 94 markets on NBA.
94 markets. And I'll tell you what, as long as you, in my opinion, just side with the Golden State Warriors on all of those 94, and you won't be sorry.
Right.
You know?
Sure. Techie Town competition. What's going on this weekend? Let's have a look and see what happened last time. Nirve Ramkasoon has won a 1,000 Rand weekly Techie Town voucher. Well done. Last week's answer was A. Sean Terry. Well played, Carry On Ellis.
We go and give everybody a clue, eh? Carry On Ellis, we showed us a clue. Boom, come out and win the sprint, the Philly sprint.
I wonder if this is not a clue for later on today, Terry.
Yeah, quite absolutely right. I mean, the big man, what is he, 39 years of age now?
Yeah. Your age.
Well, just about. Yeah,
who is the current Juventus captain? Is it A, Zinedine Zidane? Is it B, Gigi, Gianluigi Buffon? Or C, is it Darren Keat?
Good goalkeeper.
Where did we find that one?
Keat
just won the
PSL. Quite
I
right.
know that.
Oh, okay. And then Buffon is also the goalkeeper. And man,
okay, well, the question is, who is the captain? It might well be Zinedine Zidane. Please answer with your name and surname. Competition closes Monday at 6 o'clock. SMS your answer to 44472. Terms and conditions apply. SMS costs 50 cents per entry. Standard rates apply. No free SMSs. Right. Best bet time. Let's see what the panel of experts have got to say. Golden State Warriors to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Easy, done and dusted. South Africa to beat Sri Lanka. I know this is a bit of a Terry Payne double. Smiling Blue Eyes to run a place in the Willavington. And then Jose Aldo to beat Max Holloway in the MMA later. Jose Aldo is 16 wins, 2 losses.
What's MMA?
Cage fighting, isn't it?
Martial art.
Yes. Anyway, Jose Aldo's fought 18 times, 16 wins, 2 losses. He lost to Conor McGregor 2 fights ago. The other guy's never been to Vegas.
Move on.
There we go.
Thank you.
Right, Gary Lenson, what have you done?
Okay, let me just go there. The WSB special applies to the rugby. I've got the British and Iron Lions to win their opening game today by more than 35 points. If you back them and for some crazy
more
reason...
than 35 points?
It's not a complete barbarian side. It's none of the super rugby sides are involved in it. If in a injury time, the barbarians score and you lose your bet, you'll get your money back.
It's raining cats and dogs in Whangarei.
Okay, but they're playing in New Zealand, so it doesn't matter, right?
Right, we've got 90 seconds. So
okay, Quinton de Kock to be the leading South African run scorer. Juventus, I think, will win easy. Nadal, there you go. Somebody says I never tipped a winner on the show. There you go. That's my absolute certainty.
1 to 50, well done, mate.
At least you'll be a winner. And Golden State to win by more than 6.
Is this all you've done, Rod?
That's it, mate. Yeah, very quiet.
We studied all week.
Brumbies, to beat the Rebels, and India to beat Pakistan.
Okay, that's what Rod McCurdy thinks. Rugby, Liam Delcom.
Yes. I think Claremont is their moment because they've been the nearly team for so long.
Yes.
I think they'll get over the line here. Toulon is
They've only been in the last 53 finals and lost all 53.
And they're playing a very pedigreed team, but I don't think Toulon's as good as they were 3-4 seasons ago.
So what the bottom want to pay if that comes off?
Yeah, that's going to be complete rank outsider.
What's that?
They're all friendlies, mate, I'm afraid. I hate friendlies. But there we are. There's your
Are you
treble.
not a friendly person?
And a lovely big double for World Sports Betting.
That's a treble.
No, yesterday.
Oh.
And the double came up.
Yes.
There you go.
They've
All right.
taken a pounding, WSB, from the tips that we've been handing out on the show and yesterday.
It's been a good start thanks to Dom. We look like geniuses thanks to Dom. And also big thanks to you. Big thanks to Liam Delcom, to Gary Lenton, Rod McCurdy and Terry Payne. We'll be back again next week. It's been World Sports Betting's morning show. Until next time, goodbye.